Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Anthony Reviews, where Anthony reviews. And you can tell by the title of the video, today we're going to be taking a look at my Marvel Legends X-Men collection. Now, I have quite a few of the mutants from the Marvel Universe in the Marvel Legends line, so instead of showing them all at once or pulling them in and kind of making a big old stack here, we're going to be splitting them into groups. So basically, we're going to be looking at, various groups of mutants, and at the very end, hopefully we'll be able to get a shot of all of the Marvel Legends together. I've got some that really focus on like the 80s, 90s period that most people are nostalgic for. I've got some more quote-unquote modern X-Men. They're not very modern anymore, but they are meant to represent like the modern X-Men. And then my girlfriend has a huge collection, well, not huge, but a collection of Wolverine characters. So we're going to be taking a look at those, but let's go ahead and get into the X-Men collection here. So here we have the first batch of X-Men here. This is probably what most people think about as sort of the nostalgic era of X-Men, that Chris Claremont, Jim Lee era, also the 90s cartoon. So yeah, this is some of the most iconic characters from that time. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. So the first one here is the 2016 Brown Suit Wolverine. He introduced this new body type here. The claws, they're not my favorite type of claws, and it's not really my favorite suit. But, he wore this suit in the comics at the time. It's still iconic Wolverine look to him. I mean, I like how stout he is. He looks great. This was definitely a step in the right direction. I think at this point, there's a reason we keep seeing this body used on Wolverines of the future. Like, it's a good look at Wolverine. I think he looks good in the group. Next, we'll take a look at Rogue here. This is also from that 2016 Juggernaut wave. This actually just recently got a newer figure to it. I haven't picked up that one yet. It's a Target exclusive. Same body and everything, but like a different color palette, a little bit brighter, different head sculpt. But this Rogue still gets the job done. It's still undeniably Rogue. The face isn't the best. It is what it is. A lot of those Marvel Legends female faces from like 2014 to like 2016, probably 2017, they all have a very samey look to them. But hey, comics do that too sometimes. But, she's got like the flowing hair and the jacket and the nice sort of metallic looking green on the yellow there. I mean, it's still a good figure. It's good that they have a newer one here, but like, I'm not like in a rush to get it because I have a Rogue and she's good. I hope to get the new one, but I don't need it necessarily. And of course, if you have Rogue, you gotta have Gambit, Mon Ami. This one's head is like a little loose, and I know people have complaints about the hair. This is another figure where they just released a newer version, brighter colors, different head sculpt. So you could kind of consider this like a more modern Gambit because he tends to wear this outfit, and it reuses this jacket piece that we see a lot. But I mean, he's got the nice metallic purple. He's got the playing card with the kinetic energy effect on it. I mean, he still looks really good. I like this Gambit figure a lot. I think he looks good on the shelf. Am I going to get the new one? Maybe, I don't know. But this one, it still works for what it is. Let's take a look at Jubilee. So Jubilee here is, of course, one of the more newer figures. She had a figure back in 2013 that was more based on her modern design, but this is that sort of retro styling Jubilee. She's got the bright yellow, the bright pink, the bubble gum. She looks great. I think this is a fantastic representation of Jubilee here. She's got the jean shorts. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a Jubilee in your collection, it's got to be this one. I would highly recommend this Jubilee. Look, it's even got a little detail there. Awesome stuff. Let's look at Nightcrawler. So Nightcrawler is really cool. This figure came with 3 heads, and he's got a tail here, which is not a bendy tail, but it is articulated, so that's good. You could at least kind of get it in some different poses if you want. This is the most like stern face. There's like a happy face and like a screaming face and then like a standard sort of neutral face. But I mean, he's got all the great detail. He's got a body that really looks like Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is just cool. Nightcrawler is like by default a lot of people's favorite sort of X-Men character because he's unique. He's fun-loving. He's jovial most of the time. He's got a really cool design to him. He's got a cool, unique power. Like, Nightcrawler is just awesome. Everybody likes Nightcrawler. And, I mean, how can you blame him? Let's stick with the giant-size X-Men characters for a bit. We have Colossus here, another fan favorite. I mean, once again, Just such a cool design with the metallic sort of metal look with the lines and everything, and this like, I don't even know what to call this, but like the shoulder pieces, obviously Nightcrawler has the same deal. Like it's interesting looking. I don't know. It's funny always seeing Peter Rasputin with like the like non-Colossused up version, because it looks very naked. But I mean, this looks awesome. You got to be this kind of like swole looking dude to pull off this look. But he does, and he looks great. This came in a 2-pack with Juggernaut, who was a Build-A-Figure, and then they released him in a 2-pack with Colossus with some extra pieces. So nice, classic looking Colossus. You got to have Colossus in your collection. You just got to. It's the law. So Storm here is pretty cool. I've got her in sort of like a, calling upon the winds kind of pose here. I'm not a super big fan of these. They're just a little too flimsy, and you can kind of see they have like creases in them. Kind of takes away from it, but like the hair looks fantastic. The white eyes look fantastic. The pearlescent outfit. Like, this is Storm. Storm looks great. They also released a black version of this outfit. I just stuck with the white. I think I prefer the white look on Storm. Once again, it reminds me of like the cartoon and everything. But, this looks really cool. I like her shoulder pads with the X's on them. Storm's great. She's a fun character. I know she's a lot of people's favorite character. She's not one of my favorites, but like, once again, it's another character where it's like X-Men, should probably have Storm on there. Moving on to Mccoy himself, Hank McCoy, Beast, nice big blue furry guy, one of the original 5 X-Men. I'm not a huge fan of the screaming face. I know they released a gray version of this Beast with like a more neutral smiling face, and I wish this had come with an alternate head, because like, to me, I like Beast, in the maybe like a lab coat sometimes, glasses, reading a book, and like, this is cool. Obviously, Beast is an awesome character because he goes from that sort of like gentle, poetic, intelligent man to like this big ferocious monster. So he's neat in that regard, but I do wish I could display him more with that. He's got some blue trunks here. He got that blue booty, nice shading on the back with the fur. I mean, once again, Beast is just such a cool figure. And, a screaming face works for Beast in some instances. There's comic book covers where he looks exactly like this. So, I mean, overall, very, very cool looking figure. Very articulated. You can get him some very wide, like, the Beast! That kind of thing. Beast's famous catchphrase, the Beast! Last up here, we have the power couple of the century, Scott and Jean. I kind of have them interlinked here, just because that's how I see the characters. But, Jean Grey, one of the most powerful X-Men, powerful Marvel characters ever. If you don't know Avi Arad, you won't get that quote. But, yeah, she's awesome. She looks great. There's a truck going by. I don't know if you can hear that. But this is the head that came from a different Jean Grey. This was in a 2-pack with a different Scott Summers, but I replaced the head that was originally on here. And then here is Scott Summers himself. When this figure first came out, people were clamoring for him so much. This came out in the Warlock wave of 2017, and yeah, he was super, super popular. He looks great. He's still on that Bucky Cap mold that's kind of old. It is old. But he gets the job done. And, there's been other sort of releases. There's the 3-pack that I don't have, which features him like a jacket. But, Scott and Jean, they work together really well. She's got her sort of Phoenix outfit. It's good. The golds, this kind of strap looks a little bit orange. But it's good. It's good. Let's get you guys to, love birds together. But that's it. Get in front of Wolverine, so we can be jealous back there. But that's it for this group. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so sort of a random assortment of X-Men characters here. This is just different eras, honestly, but they all sort of go on my main X-Men shelf. This is Blink, the character Blink. She was in one of the X-Men movies, Days of Future Past, and I think she might be in a TV show somewhere as well. But I believe this is also like her Age of Apocalypse design, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't collect Age of Apocalypse characters, but it's Blink, and this is probably the best representation we're going to get of her. So Blink goes to the other X-Men characters. She's kind of cool. She's kind of like a She kind of looks like a mythical character almost. Like you could throw her in your D&D group and she looks like she'd fit in. But I like the flowing hair, I like the purple and green. So I mean that's kind of neat, right? I think so. So this is Sunfire, Japanese character Sunfire, not to be confused with Sunspot, although I think they have very similar powers manipulating fire. So this is more of his modern design, really. Honestly, he should be going on a different shelf. He should not be with the sort of retro X-Men characters, but his designs are similar enough to his older design. This is technically his like Uncanny Avengers look, which I actually like Uncanny Avengers quite a bit, but he's got the sort of, the rising sun kind of motif here, with like some golden flames on his wrists that I never really noticed. That's cool. This was also, I believe, from the 2017 Warlock Build-A-Figure wave, but he's got more gold down here. Very simple. I like his mask quite a bit. His mask is pretty unique looking, but kind of just a stand-in X-Men character. Dazzler, who we actually will see later in the video as well. This is sort of her 80s look, like I think of the Pride of the X-Men cartoon special. This is how she looked in that. This came in a retro carded wave, as well as that Iceman, which we'll get to, but she's pretty cool. She's got like a bandana, very similar jacket motif, very similar to like Rogue, which we looked at earlier. Golden symbol. I mean, she's pretty standard. Below the waist, she's got like a star and a thing. Like, you'd probably think this is some sort of like 80s Captain Marvel, honestly. Like, if you'd showed this to somebody, they'd think this is Captain Marvel. And it's not. It's Dazzler. Then here we have Iceman. Iceman, of course, Bobby Drake, one of the original five. Not very prominent in the sort of 90s cartoon. And, he sort of fell out of prominence after his sort of initial team broke up. Iceman isn't really thought of, I think, as much as the other characters. He's like part of the original five, and he's got this sort of ice body. He was in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, so that's good for him. But, like, honestly, Iceman isn't used too much. He was in the films, but his character was very different from his comic book counterpart. And I like the Shawn Ashmore Iceman, but it's very different from normal comic book Bobby Drake. But he's got a nice sort of look to him. Yeah, he's fine. He's Iceman. What do you want? You want an Iceman, you get this Iceman, you put him on a shelf, and this Iceman. He also has another figure, which we'll look at later. Let's move on to the next one. All right, well, what we have here is mainly X Factor. I don't think Bishop was part of the X Factor, but in my mind, Bishop goes with Forge, but Forge goes with the X Factor. I mean, Forge can also go with the X-Men, of course, but I mean, these guys look good together. That's really what it boils down to. You got the nice yellow and blues. I think these guys look great. So we have here Multiple Man, featuring one of his many heads he came with. I don't know why I decided to explain, like, just the generic, like, man head. I might change that. I don't know. But he's got that same trench coat that we saw with Gambit. But he looks good. I mean, ideally, you want to have multiple men. And I do not. And that's a mistake on my part. I apologize to the world. That's just, I'm sorry. Here's Bishop. So Bishop is a guy from the future. He's got a big M on his face. He's got like a little handkerchief, bandana thing. Not a handkerchief, it's a bandana. But he looks cool. He's got the yellow stripe down. He's got like a big gun that he can store in his back. I don't know what you'd call that. It's like a holster, but it's, you could fit a lot of things in that. Big honking future space gun. He's got a cool logo there. He's Bishop. I just remember him from the 90s cartoon, coming from the future, being like, I'm from the future, the X-Men. Oh, Lord, I gotta kill people. Gambit, I gotta kill Gambit. That's Bishop in my mind, and the music is like westerny. Yeah. But as I mentioned, when I think of Bishop, I think of Forge because of like the 90s cartoon and how Forge sent Bishop back in time. He's got cool cyborg legs and a mustache and a ponytail. Like, I don't know. He looks cool in my opinion. I don't know what it is. He's got a gun, where he's like, did it work? Did we save the X-Men? The X-Men? Get me back there. That's from the cartoon. Bishop. Forge Forge is cool. And here again, we have another power couple. This was a 2-pack, actually. We have Havoc here, and we have Lorna Dane, aka Polaris, the daughter of Magneto. We'll see another figure of her, and another figure of him, actually. But nice green hair, green lipstick. She looks awesome. She looks badass. Nice blue and yellow outfit. He's got the 90s thing of the big jacket, which I really like. The sleeves rolled up. He's got a weird gambit-ass, like, sock head thing. X on the chest, you know. Really cool. You know, he squares off with Cyclops, and Cyclops like, I don't like you. Havoc! I'm just quoting the cartoon. That's all I'm doing. I'm playing with toys, quoting the cartoon. So, I mean, she looks cool, though, and he looks cool. And they look cool together. So, I'd recommend buying this pack. If you can buy their 2-pack. I don't have Strong Guy. I'm sorry. I wish I did. He's a Build-A-Figure in a way that I don't really want most of those figures. I'm sorry, okay? All right. Next group. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say next group? I meant next man, as in X-Men, the original X-Men. He's the reason, you know? He's the reason they're called the X-Men to begin with. Charles Xavier, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a big golden chair. This is something like years ago. I don't think fans would ever expect us getting something like this. And we got it, and that's really cool. He comes with this like base that you can plug in. So that way he's got like a floating effect. If you don't want it, I guess you could just have it like that. It does sit well. You know, it's not going to fall over. Look at that. But you can plug it in, which is cool. This was sold by itself. He comes with like a little blanket so that his legs don't get cold. He's got like psychic hands. He's on just a standard suited body, but you can have him sitting there being like, to me, my X-Men. X-Men, can you hear me? I need help. Whatever, I don't know, what does Charles Xavier say? He says, I've lied to a generation of people. I'm not as good as you think I am. That's what Xavier says. He's not Patrick Stewart. That's a different Xavier. But this one's good. You know, he can scoot along if he wants. He can do tricks. He can pop a wheelie. He can screw up like background here by getting a big crease in it. Yeah, that was smart. Thanks a lot, Xavier. All right, we saw some of our most heroic characters. Now let's get into some badasses here. We've got the X Factor characters.
Yeah, so I'm editing this right now. It's X-Force. It's not the X Factor. Sorry.
Fun fact, this is my only Deadpool figure that I have. I'm actually not too big of a Deadpool fan personally, but I liked how much this looked like his sort of first appearance look. And yeah, I think it just fits in with the other characters. If I have to have a Deadpool, I'll go for more of an OG Deadpool than the sort of Deadpool you see nowadays. Just a preference, I guess. Just to get him out of the way, here's Shatterstar. So Shatterstar, isn't he like an alternate reality future son of Dazzler or something along those lines? I'll be honest, I'm not like the biggest like expert on Shatterstar. His outfit is ridiculous. His name is ridiculous. His swords are ridiculous. Yeah, he's just kind of ridiculous. But I have him. I think he was also part of that 2017 Warlock wave, and that's where we're at right now. So, yeah. Let's take a look at this character. What is this character's name? I'm honestly blanking. Who is this lady? Okay, so I literally just had to look it up. This is Boom Boom. This is the iconic character Boom Boom. She's got a fire hand. Boom Boom. And this guy here is Cannonball. Cannonball has a cool outfit. I'm not gonna lie. I like the purple. I like the sort of pilot goggles thing going on. I like the gloves. He's got no legs. The poor guy's got no legs, and this is a bit of a controversial choice here. You know, like, he comes off. Does he come off? I don't want to actually mess with it. I know he comes off, but like, I don't want to, just in case. I think this is a really good looking effect, and I think to get him in that sort of iconic look, this is neat. But like, I want him just to be on the shelf standing, because otherwise all I can have him do is this, and that's it. So like, Marvel and Hasbro, mainly Hasbro, if you're gonna make figures, have them have legs. Domino is pretty cool though. You know, she's pretty basic, just sort of a black outfit. She's got some shin guards and some knee pads and some guns. She came with like big purple guns, but I gave her like normal guns. But I like the design. I like the sort of pale white design and the eye. Her power is that she's lucky. I don't really know how that works, but you know, Domino's kind of neat, and so there she goes. Let's just stick her, put her back. So then we have Psylocke here. Psylocke, of course, is one of the most recognizable X-Men characters. Not really a member of X Factor that I'm aware of. Later years, of course, she is. She is more of just an X-Men character, but because she has a sword, and I think she looks better with this bunch, I have her displayed with X Factor. People will claim blasphemy down below, but she's got the nice shiny purple, red sash. There are variants on this where like one outfit's like a bit more blue, and I think she has black hair, and this one has like a purple tint to her hair. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, but she looks cool. She's got like lines. She's neat. And then lastly here we have Cable, who of course is the best figure of the bunch. You know, he's got like this big collar and these big stupid shoulder pads and this big stupid gun and then another big stupid gun, and he's just badass. He's got like an eye thing going on, and he's really angry about it, but that's why we love him. We love Cable. He's such a cool dude, and I like this figure a lot. He stands out. This is how Cable should look. Yeah, awesome. He just really brings the whole group together. But honestly, good set of figures. I like him. This guy's kind of whatever, and this character's name is Boom Boom, and he ain't got legs, and not really a Deadpool fan. You know, now that I talk about it, I'm not sure why I like these figures so much, but I do. So, on to the next group. And here we have some X-Men villains. I mean, looking at it, kind of primarily Wolverine villains, but X-Men villains nonetheless. Let's start off with Mystique. So Mystique here was a Walgreens exclusive. You know, it's good to have the classic Mystique look with the white dress and the skull motif, everything. I like how sinister she looks. She's got a gun. You know, it's nothing spectacular, of course, but you know, it's Mystique. It gets the job done. She looks really cool. And you know, the best thing about Mystique is, you know, it's this Mystique. And then there's 4 more Mystiques. You don't know. I mean, this is Mystique. But you never know. And then here we have Sabertooth. This Sabertooth is pretty cool. I quite like the face. I like the expression on here. I like his big sort of, you know, fur around his shoulders. You know, he's got a good build to him. He's got a nice pose. And I've got here, you know, perfect to display with your Wolverines or your Brotherhood or whoever. I like it. I think it's a really cool figure, honestly. Yeah, Sabertooth. Sabertooth is alright. You know, he's a fun character. He ain't exactly deep or nothing, but it's Sabertooth. You gotta have him for your evil X-Men guys, right? Yeah. Yeah. Then right here we have Omega Red. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about Omega Red. I know you must be Russian, right? Because the red and all, you know, that makes sense. He's got some big dumb shoulder pads. He's got some Omega symbols, like he's Darkseid or something. He's going, hey, I'm Omega Red. So that's great. He's got some vents on his knees. He's Omega Red. He's got some tubies. I believe he comes with interchangeable tubes. You can have some bigger tubes for your Omega Red. He's a very goofy-looking character, but hey, you know what? We love him for it. You know, Omega Red, never change, buddy. All right, here we have the Silver Samurai, who was featured in The Wolverine, the film The Wolverine. Granted, the character from the comics who is the Silver Samurai here, he was not the Silver Samurai in The Wolverine. He played another character that gave his name to like another character. There's a Silver Samurai, but he was not the Silver Samurai. But either way, here's the Silver Samurai. I mean, he's silver. He really is a samurai. He looks good, you know? I mean, this was a character, this is another one of those just like, you gotta fill the spot. You know, if you're collecting X-Men characters, you should probably have the Silver Samurai. And here he is. It's the character you asked for. And I go, thank you, Hasbro. I asked for it and you provided for it. I bought it. this is how the system works. So it's cool. I like the detail, like the strings. You know, they're just sculpted on there, but they look cool. Yeah, I mean, it's solid. It's what you want. You know, nothing spectacular, but hey, it's the Silver Samurai. No one said the Silver Samurai was anything spectacular, let's be honest. But let's talk about who is spectacular. That is Mr. Sinister here. Oh my god. I mean, his face is awesome. He's got this ridiculous cape. It's got 2 layers. Like, looks like a car wash. Like, this guy's ridiculous. He's got a big red gem on his chest. He's huge. Mr. Sinister's awesome. I mean, that was one of the things that was set up in what was that movie? Apocalypse. The SX Corp, you know, they were setting up Mr. Sinister. And then I didn't see the film, but spoiler alert, reportedly, New Mutants has some sort of connection with Sinister and everything like that. So, yeah. This is a cool figure, though. Like, Sinister is so goofy and ridiculous looking that, like, that's the only positives I see of, like, doing the X-Men and, like, the MCU, because I'm a fan of the Fox X-Men movies. I like X-Men and X-Men 2 and Days of Future Past. Like, those are good movies, and Logan's fantastic, so... But we would never see this in X-Men 2, and we didn't need to. You know, X-Men 2 was a different kind of film. Like, not every comic book movie has to have big cartoon characters, but the MCU, maybe you can give us some big cartoon characters. Give us Mr. Sinister. You know, that's all I'm asking. Mr. Sinister, because he looks awesome. Oh, and I almost forgot, we have Pyro. It's Pyro. I don't know what you want me to say about it. He looks like Pyro. You know, once again, it's another thing to fill a need. We need Avalanche and Toad now, and the Blob. So, but we got Pyro, so that's neat. Let's look at this family. So this was a 3-pack that was released. I believe it may have been an Amazon exclusive. But we have Magneto, Quicksilver, and of course the Scarlet Witch. Let's look at Quicksilver first, I guess. Quicksilver is pretty cool. Pretty standard. What you'd expect. You know, when I think of, like, X-Men's Quicksilver, I think of him having the green. So, you know, I wish they would release just a green version of him so I could put him up there. But, hey, you can put this one with your X-Factor group, right? Yeah. And you can put him with your Avengers if you want. But, you know, he looks cool. He gets the job done. Then, of course, we have the Master of Magnetism, Magneto. This is a huge step up from the previous Magneto figure. The previous one was part of the Toys R Us exclusive, almost said Target, the Toys R Us exclusive 2013 wave, which was the Jubilee wave, and it was used on a mold I just generally don't like. This one, though, he's jacked as all elderly men should be. He's got the white in the eyes. He's like, oh, Magneto, so that's cool. He's got a big flowing cape. You know, he looks great. When I think of Magneto, this is how Magneto should look like, so I'm happy with it. He looks cool. The Master of Magnetism, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you have to have the Scarlet Witch. Now, this is another character. You could put her on her Avengers shelf. You could put her next to the Vision, or you could put her with the Brotherhood. You know, once again, this design, I don't know. I feel like I've seen this design in a lot of different places, so she could be with X-Men characters. Did she look like this in House of M? Was this vaguely how she... I don't know. She's had a lot of designs over the years. But, like, let's take a look at that face sculpt. Let's take a look at the hair. Like, this is beautiful. I love this. This is... I just like the look of her. I think she looks fantastic. She's doing some magic. She's saying, go watch my show on Disney+. Plus. I think that's what she's saying, but either way. There's the Magneto family. At one point in the comics, they were retconned to not actually be Magneto's family. I don't know if that's true anymore. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's look at some big boys here. So this is a couple of Build-A-Figures. Technically, this Juggernaut's not a Build-A-Figure, but he's based on a Build-A-Figure. So right here, we have Warlock. This is the only New Mutants character I have. There's the Walgreens set. Well, it's not a set. It's a one figure with, like, multiple heads, and I just never got around to getting those, so I hope to get them someday, but as of right now, Warlock is the only figure I have, but he looks good. He's super, super tall, obviously. He's got a bunch of great detail and paint work. Like, he looks awesome. There's a reason I've kept him after all these years, even though I don't have any, like, buddy to go with. I think he looks neat. So, yeah, Warlock's cool. I like him. Look at that hair. It's ridiculous. He's coming at you. Oh, no. All right, now let's take a look at Juggernaut. Once again, this is not technically a Build-A-Figure. This was the one that was released in the 2-pack with Colossus, but it's the same body. Like, honestly, it's the same figure. So, you know, he's a big, beefy boy. He's got a nice heft to him. He's what you'd want for Juggernaut. You know, Juggernaut should sometimes be insanely big. I know it's not all of us like our Juggernauts to be insanely big. Some of us like them to be a bit smaller. But for me, this is a nice Juggernaut. He's huge. Look at those pecs. They're massive. He also comes with alternate hands and an alternate head, which are cool. But, you know, just standard look of Juggernaut here is what I'm here for. And then for this group here, the last one we're looking at is Onslaught. Now, this figure was initially released in a separate kind of wave. It was like a Captain America wave, and it came with a Red Skull head. And the reason it came with a Red Skull head is because it's supposed to be the Red Skull version of Onslaught, who, for those of you who don't know, Onslaught, this character here, is the melding of minds of Magneto, which, if you couldn't tell, and Charles Xavier. And so, what Red Skull Onslaught was Red Skull sort of mutated with Charles Xavier's brain. So they eventually released a head so that you could put it on here, and that way we have Onslaught. The previous Onslaught figure by Toy Biz was like the big crab one, and this is more like a normal standard kind of Onslaught. He looks cool. I don't have a strong connection to Onslaught, but he's a cool figure, and that's all that really matters. But we got some big boys. It's good to have the big boys represented. And here we have the Apocalypse family. So we have two Build-A-Figures here and Archangel. So I guess first up is Caliban. Caliban, who was featured in 2 X-Men movies. He was featured in Apocalypse, and then he was also featured in Logan the following year, which Logan was nominated for, was it a Best Adapted Screenplay, right? And so Caliban was in an Oscar-nominated film. Good for him. This is like a Apocalypse powered up Caliban, so he looks like a big hulking monster. Not my preferred version of Caliban, but hey, you know what? He looks cool. He's got a nice screaming face. I mean, he's got a pearlescent body with the red and everything. So on display, I think he looks really cool. Archangel here. I mean, I don't want to pick him up too much because he looks good how he is, but I have him on a stand. This is the original release of Archangel. He's still on that Bucky cap body. But to be fair, I think when they did the re-release with the repaint and everything, that was also on the same body. But he's got the big wings, blue face. You know, Archangel is kind of the only reason Angel is still relevant, in my opinion. But hey, you know, he looks cool, right? He was also in the X-Men Apocalypse movie. And then, of course, you can't talk about Apocalypse without Apocalypse. So I've got him in this sort of like, because Apocalypse is like a big goofy villain to me. You know, he has like really dire sort of consequences, but he's like this character in my eyes, mainly because of the cartoon. Like, you go back and you watch the cartoon and he sounds like a fool, you know, because I told him to. Like, that's Apocalypse in the cartoon. He's a big goofball. And he's got tubes coming out of his arms, and he's got his big old apocalypse here. That's nice. Big shiny blue boy. Not exactly a classic design, but it's undeniably Apocalypse. So, yeah, what a group. What a group of guys. They're so angry. Alright, so we're moving out of the world of retro and more into the world of modern. Once again, modern is around quotations because at this point now all these designs are outdated, but they're kind of meant to represent the no longer 90s X-Men, I guess. So we've got the Summers family here. Of course, we have Havoc. Havoc in a pretty standard, like, if you could focus. There we go. Havoc, you know, he's got a standard black outfit. He's got a thing on his head. Once he can fit into your Uncanny Avengers display, so that's good, you know. So he's Havoc, Alex Summers. You know, he is what he is. Now I'm having some real focus issues, but Cyclops here, Scott Summers, wearing his I believe this was introduced in the later half of Astonishing, and then later, of course, used in like Uncanny, and then used up until what was that? Marvel Now, where he got like the X on his face. So, you know, pretty standard dark blue with the golds, and he's got the skull cap on, and you know, he's clearly my camera has gotten bored. It's moved past all the stuff that the retro X-Men stuff is about, so it is just wanting to give up. But hey, it's Scott Summers. He's cool. He's cool, guys. Come on, don't make fun of Scott Summers anymore. Then we have Hope Summers. She was like the Messiah. She was like mutant Jesus or something. This is a character, I don't even know if she's around anymore, to be honest. But she was given to Cable, and Cable watched over her in the future, and then she came back or whatever, and so that's why she has this, like, you know, tattered cape look, is because she's from the dystopian future, or at least she was raised there. But, I mean, this is a really outdated figure, and I don't know if we'll ever get an updated Hope figure again, but there she is. But you can't have Hope. Well, I mean, you can have Hope, but you can't have Hope without Cable. So here we have Cable. This one was another one that was released early on in that Juggernaut wave from 2016, I believe. He's got a lot of the, you know, the techno organic virus going. He's still got big guns and the shoulder pads, and he's just a bit more streamlined than the 90s version, but he's Cable. Cable's cool. Cable will always be cool. Even if he's lame, he's cool. So he's a big dude. He's like I said, not as exciting as that other version, but still undeniably Cable. So there's the Summers family, ladies and gents. I hope you like them because oh damn. And here we have some more just sort of, like I said, quote-unquote modern X-Men characters. Let's start off with Rogue. So Rogue here was recently released. He was in that 2-pack with Pyro. Once again, this was a design that was meant to be released probably years ago, but they just now got to it. Once again, another design that can go with your Uncanny Avengers as well. I don't remember if she was dating Magneto during this time, but here's Rogue. I guess you could debate whether Namor belongs with the X-Men, but he was associated with the X-Men a lot during this period in which he had this outfit, and you know, the lead up to AVX and during AVX, I feel like there's a lot of Namor with the X-Men. So also there's a train whistle. I don't know if you can hear that, but we're so far in the video that it's just like, you know what? It's Namor. It's fine if there's a whistle. That's just life, I guess. Here we have Iceman. This was one of the earlier figures. Once again, I believe part of that 2016 Juggernaut wave. I've got him in sort of like a crouched pose. You know, he's got like a bunch of ice spikes and he's got ice hair. So, you know, this isn't a classic Bobby Drake. This is cool modern Bobby Drake. And I believe he was with Kitty in a relationship. This was before he was revealed as gay. So that's why he was with Kitty. But then he was gay, and I guess he still currently is gay, so good for Iceman. Speaking of Kitty, here's Kitty Pryde. I actually quite like the face sculpt on this Kitty. It's a little dated at this point, but, you know, for 2016, I thought this was a really nice, unique sculpt. She's got Lockheed, the dragon, and just sort of a nice design to her. A very simple Kitty Pryde design. I like her, especially during the time this is one of my favorite X-Men characters, and one of my favorite X-Men figures. She's just very simple, and she gets the job done. All right, another Colossus, Pietro Rasputin. He's wearing a very unique outfit. I don't think this outfit actually goes with anyone else's outfits in the collection. I know Nightcrawler also has like a similar outfit with this sort of like, whatever this black piece is, but I mean, the real standout is the beard. This came with 2 heads, a normal Colossus head and a bearded Colossus head. So, I mean, if I already have the retro Colossus, you're going to be damn sure I'm going to be displaying this one with bearded. I mean, that's just, I don't know, it's cool. Something about it. I also like that the metal pieces are a bit more washed, you know, dirty, grimy, as opposed to the nice, shiny silver. I don't know. He's kind of a unique Colossus. He's different, but that's why I like him. And, of course, to go along with Colossus back there, we have his sister. We have Magic, who she's got her arm piece. Once again, a bit more of a modern take. But at the same time, I don't even know if she looks like this right now. Probably not, right? But she's got a big sword, and she looks cool. You know, she stands out for sure. She looks different from the other characters by far. But hey, you know, it's magic. She should look different. Once again, I didn't see New Mutants, so I don't know what she does in that movie. If she does anything cool. But, yeah, magic. Magic with a K at the end, mind you. Not a C. This Wolverine figure is quite old. This is the 2012 Wolverine. Yeah, he's fine. You know, he's not based on that new mold that we see so often. He's okay. You know, he's got the sort of more modern look to him. And yeah, that's really all to say about it. His claws they're okay, I guess. You know, not a huge fan of this Wolverine figure, but I guess if you're gonna have a more modern Wolverine, I guess this is gonna be it. Yeah, not super jazzed about this one, but it works. It works. And then we have Polaris. This is another figure from that 2017 Warlock Build-A-Figure wave. Once again, we have this face here that was very similar to the faces that a lot of the female characters had around this time. It is what it is. It's not super great, but hey, it gets the job done. Very simple design, not a whole lot going on here. She has a very sort of basic cape. This is not as... I should say, I guess I don't like this one as much as the other Polaris, but it's Polaris. It's fine. You know. Yeah. What an underwhelming group of figures here, to be honest. Except Kitty. Kitty's great. Love Kitty. And then we have these two for their own little part. We have, of course, Eric and Charles, Magneto and Professor X. This Professor X is quite old. I want to say it's a Toy Biz one. I mean, it's definitely based on like a Toy Biz style body. You can tell by like the fingers and everything. And, you know, he's got a cool, more modern chair. You know, this is why I have him with the modern X-Men, is because he doesn't have a big golden hover chair. But, you know, he's cool. He's fine. He's definitely a little dated at this point, but he works on the shelf, I would say. He rolls, so he can do that. And this Magneto here is from... See, this is so weird about this figure, is that it's such, like, a specific time. Like, he doesn't go with, like, the Marvel Now stuff because it was slightly after Marvel Now. It was one of the many X-Men, like, renumberings and reboots. So he has like a red and black outfit. And I mean, I like the outfit, and I like that he comes with an Eric head. It's probably a little too big, to be honest, but I like that he comes with it. But yeah, like there's a Marvel Now design where he has like all white, and then there's like an all black outfit, and like I think the outfit he has now is way more akin to like that outfit, but like this is like an in-between outfit, and they decided to make that a figure. I don't understand why completely, but they have it, and he's here. And I guess that represents my sort of more modern Magneto, even though it doesn't make any sense. Man, y'all like Wolverine? Because my girlfriend sure does. Goodness. So this isn't even, like, this is the tip of the iceberg, guys. We're going to get to the other half of the Wolverine figures, but let's take a look at these for now. This is the Days of Future Past Logan figure. He comes with a gun. And, yeah, he's pretty cool. This came in a pack with a Sentinel figure. And, yeah, he's got the gray streaks in the hair and the sort of yellow collar piece and everything. So, you know, it's meant to be the Days of Future Past Wolverine. And then going, you know, farther back in his life, we have the Weapon X Wolverine, which I think looks really cool. I love the details of the hair and the big dumb helmet and all the tubes. And he's just like a big, you know... almost naked. He's got a Speedo on, but, oh, look at that. He's something poking out. Yeah, I mean, he looks ridiculous, and I love this Wolverine just because he's so unique looking. Like, this looks awesome. Love this. Then we have this Wolverine. He's got a sword. He's got some stuff on his eyes. Very basic outfit, but he's got some nice hairy arms. So that's cool. And this was on a retro carding. It came in the same wave as the Silver Samurai, so I guess you could have Wolverine fight the Silver Samurai with a sword. Hey, bub, you ever wanted Wolverine with a cowboy hat? I mean, Wolverine's Canadian. I don't know how many Canadians are wearing cowboy hats, but this was a figure all by itself. They released this figure, part of their fan channel, I think it's called, which is basically just like getting figures out to fans that like fans would buy, but maybe not necessarily everyone would buy. I've got him doing like the Wolverine X Claws thing. I don't know. He's got a black tank top. That's neat. Not much to say about this one. I mean, I like his face. He's like, hey there, bub. I'm Cowboy Wolverine. Yeehaw. And then this one here is a Motorcycle Wolverine. He's got the eye patch, which Wolverine sometimes does. He also comes with another head, and he's got some claws, and he's got a motorcycle, so he can ride his motorcycle around with all of his friends. So, you know, that's cool. It's the same motorcycle that's been released a couple times now. It's nothing special, but, you know, he's like, hey, yarg, me motorcycle. All right, guys, we've got more Wolverines, and this time we've brought his daughter along, Laura Kinney, aka X-23. So let's just get into it. This is the brown suit Wolverine, but it's different from the other brown suit Wolverine I showed way earlier in the video. This is an unmasked one. He came with a mask as well, but I decided to do the unmasked head. This was released on a retro carding. This was late 2017 when this came out, and at the time, this was the hardest figure to get, I think, because everyone likes Wolverine. So, pretty cool figure. I like this one quite a bit, actually. Then we have X-Force. I forgot the name for a second. X-Force Wolverine. I really like his claws. They're kind of more unique than some of the other claws. They were much more unique than the other claws. Nice dated reference to an okay cartoon show. But I like the black and the gray. You know, he's the same body as that Wolverine and that Wolverine, but he looks good. I like it. I like the boots. And of course, he goes great with the X-Force X-23. So, you know, like father, like daughter. She's got the red lenses, and it's the same sort of gray and black motif. I think she looks cool. I like the flowing hair. So that's neat, you know. It's no foot claws on this one, but, you know, we have to make sacrifices somewhere, so understandable. Then, of course, we've got to have Tiger Stripe Wolverine. You got to have the nice, iconic 90s cartoon Wolverine. He's big, he's beefy, he's angry. He's got some pretty nice claws overall. You know, he's got this, like, I don't know what I've got him in, like, sort of like a rocker pose. Like, yeah! Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm actually not happy with that, but you know what? He looks cool. That's why he's sort of the centerpiece, because that's how we imagine Wolverine, right? That's him. That's the guy. Then speaking, of course, of the classic yellow and blue, we have when Laura Kinney became Wolverine after Wolverine died. He was encased in, like, adamantium or something. Anyways, she does have foot claws, mind you. And, yeah, she also comes with, like, a masked Wolverine head, but my girlfriend wants it displayed with this hair, which, you know, looks good. I like this. I like this look for her. Very cool. Then here we have a Toy Biz Laura Kinney. You can tell it's definitely a bit more dated. She does have the foot claws and the ability to retract the foot claw. So if you're like, oh, you know, I don't want a foot claw, but then you're like, oh, I do want the foot claw. So, you know, whatever foot action you want. Yeah, this is a very interesting looking toy. And, you know, to really show that Laura Kinney is here, you know, she's the new Wolverine, we have an Old Man Logan. So this is technically different from, like, the Old Man Logan from the Old Man Logan comic. This was around the time of Secret Wars when Wolverine died. She became Wolverine, but then we still wanted Logan around, right? So this is like an alternate universe kind of Old Man Logan Wolverine guy. So he's old, he's Logan, he's real grumpy about it. Old Man Logan. Good for him. But it doesn't stop there, folks. We still, I know, we still have more Wolverines. So we've come to pretty much the most recent Wolverine figures, the movie Wolverine figures. So each of these Wolverines representing a different part in Logan's life, or James Howlett, or whatever you want to call him. So we have here the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Quick note, I should note that the tags actually come with that Wolverine. But, like, you know, I feel like the tags, you know, they're introduced in this film, so it makes sense to have him with this one. But he's got, obviously, the leather jacket and the flannel, and he's got the Origins hair. So, like, this is clearly X-Men Origins Wolverine. Like, the hair is a dead giveaway, but, you know, the outfit, that's how he looks. The claws are beautiful. Like, these are some of the best Wolverine claws I've seen on any figure, honestly. I think that the movie figures are fantastic. So this one here is, I guess, a bit debatable. You know, Wolverine, I feel like he wears a white tank top in a lot of the movies. You know, I guess you could say this is maybe an X-Men 2 Wolverine. I prefer to look at it as the Wolverine. Like, sort of imagining these as, like, from the Wolverine movies. And so, like, I imagine the end of the Wolverine when he gets his claws taken out, and then he regrows them at his bone claws, and he's like, sayonara, you know, that whole bit. So he's got jeans and he's got a tank top, and he looks like Hugh Jackman. I think that looks good. And he's got more accurate Wolverine hair, definitely better than that guy's. So, you know, and you gotta display the bone claw somehow, right? They gave them to you. You gotta use them, right? Okay. And then finally here we have the Logan 2-pack. This was, I believe, a Hasbro Pulse, sort of like PulseCon exclusive. But we have, you know, the movie Old Man Logan with the bloody claws and everything, and the bruised and bloodied face, and he looks awesome. And then we also have Charles here, Mr. Xavier. Nice Patrick Stewart likeness on there. Oh, Logan. Fuck you, Logan. Fuck. That's the movie. That's what happens. He's got a pretty decent chair. I've got, like, his foot sort of coming out of his step. Like, Charles, please. So, you know, it looks good. Logan's a great film, and these are some great figures, honestly. I don't know if you can still get them, I guess, but if you can, I'd recommend you picking them up. All of them. Just get them all. Why not? Just get them. And I know, folks, it feels like we should be done at this point, but we're still not done. So this was the Cyclops and Dark Phoenix 2-pack that was exclusive to Toys R Us. You notice I did the same thing again of having these two, like, you know, like they're a couple, because they are a couple. But, yeah, they don't really belong anywhere on my actual display. So I threw some wrestling accessories on there. She's got a Rusev Day shirt. He's apparently the WWE Universal Champion. Yeah, I mean, they're cool figures, but they've got nowhere to go, and, yeah, I do like the head sculpt on her. You know, the fading in like that, that's neat, but you guys just, can you stand? What are they looking at? Oh, and, I almost, forgot about this guy. You know, it's technically a Marvel Universe figure, but really it's also technically a Marvel Legends figure. This was in the Days of Future Past pack that came with that Wolverine figure we looked at earlier. So, I mean, it's under the Marvel Legends branding, even though it's the sculptable Marvel Universe figure. Yeah, and I mean, the new Hasbro Pulse sort of Sentinel's coming out, so no one cares about this guy anymore. But he's my Sentinel. What do you got to say for a Sentinel? Oh, okay. All right, folks, here it is. My entire X-Men collection on one space. They're all crammed into my review section. My little stage here. There's no rhyme or reason, really. I just wanted to get them all in one spot. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed my look at my entire Marvel Legends X-Men collection here. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, not this display, not really, but I mean, I'm happy with the collection itself. I'm missing some figures here and there. You know, it is what it is. Also, I should note, I straight up forgot about these two. This is Mohawk Storm and Dazzler. Forgot to put them in the video. They're here now. I don't know what you want me to do. So, there you guys go. I certainly hope you all enjoyed the look at the collection. And feel free to comment your favorite X-Men characters or whatever the heck you want to comment about down below. And thank you so much for watching. I'm sure this video is very long, much longer than my normal videos, but I appreciate you guys sticking out to the end. Make sure to check out some other videos, like, subscribe if you like what you see, all that stuff. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. Take care.